Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Up and Smart. We got the pick six yesterday, and the best bet also won. The value bet ran second, rolled the punches. So for the disciplined guys, it was a good day. We also won all the exotics. I don't think that the exotics will be that easy to catch today, and my main interest will be the best bet in the first, Promise of Hope. I think the only reasonable horse that could potentially beat him is probably the Gavin van Sale Warren Kennedy horse coming back from a rest, Lazuli. Um, but yeah, the algorithm suggests that it's Chase the Stars in second, Perfect Appeal in third, and Lazuli in fourth. But just purely looking at the bat 42 figures here of the raced runners in the last 42 days, we're looking at 46 lengths and 50 lengths between Promise of Hope and Gaetana and Chase the Stars. On the bat 84, 16 lengths on Perfect Appeal being the closest one, and that's a lot to make up in since the 31st of March. Bat 84 we have Lazuli, and that's probably the only one that I think has got a reasonable chance to actually get close to Promise of Hope. And it's Warren Kennedy again. There was some support in the market previously, and yeah, the biggest danger. I think that would be my play for the day, Promise of Hope. After that, it gets really tricky. In the second, Grey Ocean is my first choice. Frontline Fighter, very close second to it. So I'm going to take a chance on the buy pot here and say 10-1 is all I'm going to take. 10-1, Grey Ocean and Frontline Fighter, because as you can see here, the buy pot gets really interesting after that. So 10-1 in this race, and I'm going to take my chances right here. Others to consider is 7th Song, Drogarati, Didi, Alma Mater, I'm Ready, Ride the Lightning. Moving on to the third, which I think is potentially one of the toughest races, Fillies and Mares 84 for the day. I made a note on Kalula, very impressive debut by our nose behind Sweet Scented Green, and will win a few on this debut. And if I look at Kalula, that was this debut year, over 1,000 Greyville poly, when it was 0.05 behind Sweet Scented Green in a bat figure of 8.78. Most recently, it ran a little feature, and 5.72 was also good. It's a little bit more unknown in the 1200 stakes, because over the 1200 it's only had a 14 bat figure. So yeah, one to consider, but tough race all in all. That's probably why they put the 4 kilo epic claim on. But you can see Zuma is back. He ran second, first and first on this horse, now coming back from a big rest. 16.67 to 1 is maybe not out of it, but it's a really tough race test. I ended up going with Galactic Star as my first choice here. Glenn Cotson is in good form. Kay Stradom is the jockey, and if I look at the actual figures here, the 1400 Greyville poly at a time of 58.15 is really decent considering the rest of the field here. If you look at the window to Africa, 58.84 for 1200. So 58.1 on Kumazi before he actually got scratched. So these are 59s, and yeah, so Galactic Star, maybe the horse that has proven ability over the longer 1200 distance. We do see Nakia Michael Roberts here at 57.95 long ago, K12 in a little mini feature, and like we just said, Kalulo has not done anything. The favourite is Wine Tasting. Now, Wine Tasting on the bat figures is pretty close on that 1200 vol Fillies and Mares 72 figure, 6.95. We don't know if he's acting on the poly, so that's also a question mark, but that 695 gets somewhere close. If we go through here, there's a 884 on Lady Legend, there's a 695 on Wine Tasting, there's a 572 and a 595 on Kalula on the 1000 meters, a 364 on the Kia on 1000, and a 6 on 1000. A 0 on Miss Generosity over the 1000 meters, another one that has not shown that she can do the same over the 1200. The best figure of the 1200 being 32.29.25, and then 9.99 on Flashy Katrina over at 1200 is pretty okay in this kind of field. Retail Therapy has the exact distance medium speed on the probability stats, and has run 1200 Greyville Poly 1, 1200 Greyville Poly 1, 1200 Greyville Poly 5th. So he does get Seanville today as well, so another one that I would be including. And then Beat It, another one, 9.59 on that last bat. Diamonds and Pearls on the 1600 meters has shown a 6.99 on the Greyville Poly, so this is a bit shorter, or too short maybe for him. Window to Africa, 1200 Greyville Poly, a 7.14. Meet at the George, a 5.07 on the 1400 Greyville Poly. Keegan DeMille retains the ride, and then Galactic Straw 1400 Greyville Poly, a 1.35. So I'm looking at that figure. If you can repeat that figure, then that's Galactic Star for me. Looking at the P stats, if you look at 28% on opening betting, wine tasting, to win, exact distance, median speed has a 31% chance to win, and that would be Retail Therapy. Retail Therapy. And then Super Rule percentage, which goes to Window to Africa, has a 33% chance. So maybe play at the probabilities here if you want short select on the exotics, but it's a really tough race. Moving to the 4th. It's so tough. We ended up with a 50-1 top rated in the form of Miss Emblem, and Miss Emblem got that 6.45 red figure on the 1200 Greyville Poly. It's run the 1900 Greyville Poly, and it did nothing. It was a 27.78, but that's also the best exact distance median speed, which is 27 lengths worse than the maiden plate class S distance 1900 Greyville Poly field average, which essentially means anything can happen here, because there's a lot of horses running 1900 meters and nothing that has proven form over 1900 meters, and nothing close to the industry standard for a class G 1900 meters, which leaves the field basically could do anything in this race. So what have I done? In the 4th race, I ended up going with 4, 3 and 1. No, sorry, that's the 4th race. 8, 4, 2, 6, 3. Miss Emblem, Rainware, Emerald Isla. I think Lizanne Forbes has a couple of decent runners, and then Miss Missouri and Papillon, and then also Hiroshima, 8, 4, 2, 6, 3, 10. Taking a bit of a chance, looking at that big figure of a bat, 4 lengths better than the field on Emerald Isla, and there's a couple of nice Lizanne Forbes to come. So not a race that I'm going to be betting on. So just trying to get through the exotics for you. In the next race, we end up with a 14-1 first rated Fight Song, followed by Truly Wicked at 10-1 second rated, and that's the Kennedy connection for wife and husband. If they want to sleep together tonight in the same bed, then Warren has to bring out his best. And then Look for Hounds is my third rated, which is the favorite. So 1, 4 and 2. But there's a lot of unknowns here with these red bats. It's very close to the best. So 1, 4, 2, 8, 9, 3, 7 is what I ended up going for. But maybe a bit of value on Fight Song and Truly Wicked. In the 6th race, here's another Lizanne Forbes Seanville as a top rated. Origami has the best bat 42 form on the green bats, has the best bat exact course and distance, best overall ranking. Get a gear change. It's Seanville. Has a 33% chance to win and a 16% chance to place for Lizanne Forbes. That's something to have a look at. So Origami is my first choice here, followed by Kurarish Cowboy, only runner for London Stradom. A little bit 2 lengths to find on the bat figures. Then Banzai Pipeline, unknown, 10-1. Lyle Hewitson takes the ride. The best bat figures in the field. Although it being red bats, it's also being supported by the best stat form and the best intent. So 11, 7, 10, and then the 6 and the 3, Fire on the Track. Hill's only runner was Zaki, best adjusted time, best speed rating, tops the greeny points as well with the rest, with the 2 others, and then Joseph Jagger, 14-1. Median speed the best, and Bomb Roll Curve the best. So 11, 7, 10, 6, 3, and then also the 4 Baymax I added, which is the actual favorite. So it is a really tough day today. In the pick 6, also add the 9 and the 8, Fever and Raise a Hallelujah. So that's how far I got. 11, 7, 10, 6, 3, 4, 9, 8. In the 7th, again Lizanne Forbes top rated, Gavel Strike. That's my first choice here. Again, the best greenback figures. So maybe a bit of a place nibble on the Lausanne Forbes combination here in race 6 and 7. He's my first choice. My second choice, Tiger Tank. My third choice, Mambo Symphony, Coromandel, Victorious Man, Gazala Gallop, Assured, and Smart Socks. So PA I've gone 9, 2, 4, 3, 8 and 6, and the same for the pick 6. Yeah, maybe add the 10 and the 7 if you can afford it, but it's a really tough day. The rest of the day looks terrible. In the very last year, Hansa Grove looks pretty decent on the bat figures. Boogie Shoes the second best on bat 42, Enrapture and Start Choice, and that's why I've made my first 4 selections as well. 4, 3, 10, 11, and then 2 and 12 hereinafter, and Tango Time. And I hope that that is the 6 that's enough to get you through for the pick 6. So after we won quite a decent pick 6 yesterday, this is going to be quite an expensive one. So 2, 4, 6, 8 times 2, 4, 6, that's 48 times 2, 4, 6, 7. So that's 350 times 2, 4, 6. That's 2,000 times 2, 4, 6 is 12,000 times 2, 4, 6. That's 72,000 Rand pick 6. I'm expecting a very big pick 6 payout today. Personally, I will just play the bipot. Maybe I think there's a really big bipot payout as well. And maybe the jackpot and the jackpot 1 and 2, but again, I have to stress I'm not really going to spend much investment in this today. This is a really tough day to get through, guys. So all the best, and till we speak again.